of sports, but of course with a big team behind the cameras, the technical people that you'll never see on camera very easily, but they are always there doing a great work to ensure that we come to you live starting 6:30 till now with an extension of Good Morning Uganda. Hope your weekend was fine. Hope your Monday is okay. Don't talk about Monday blues. Just be ready to embrace this month as it almost comes to an end. Now here you're making your final touches, ensuring that by the time you get there, at least there's so much you have achieved. Well, this morning, I'm going to be discussing the role of National Organization of Trade Unions in rescuing migrant workers, or in rescue of migrant workers. Now, this is a very big problem affecting our country. We know labor externalization is something that many companies are dealing in, those that have been licensed by the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development, but also know that there are some people who are smart doing that. But above all, there are many challenges that these girls, the migrant workers, go through, most so the domestic workers. Now, what does the National Organization of Trade Unions do? Is it just looking aside, or is it doing something? Join me, welcome my guest this morning, Bijira Richard, who is the Secretary General of NATO. You're most welcome.
Thank you, and good morning.
It's been a long, long time.
Thank you. We have been really available. Thank you so much.
Now, question first. When we talk about the National Organization of Trade Unions, what is your mandate? What exactly do you do?
Thank you, Kiravo, and good morning, viewers. My name is Richard Bigirwa, Secretary General of the National Organization of Trade Unions, NOTU. NOTU is a labor center in the country and an ILO constituency in the country. And what do I mean when I say ILO constituency? It speaks for the workers at the international conferences, and it represents the workers of Uganda. Under the tripartite arrangement, under the Convention 144, where Uganda has ratified. Secondly, we also derive our mandate from the National Constitution, Article 29 and 40, where it gives us freedom to associate, to organize, and also to organize workers into labor unions. Obviously, we go ahead. It is being regulated and domesticated by Labor Unions Act of 228, Cap 228. Therefore, we are a legal entity and enshrined under the laws of Uganda. Therefore, we speak with the mandate and with the authority which is granted to us by both the Constitution and the Labor Unions Act, as enacted by the laws of the country.
That is very interesting. Now, what services do you offer to the workers?
Kirawa, our role as a labor union or as a labor center is to ensure that we promote, advance, and advocate the labor rights of the workers in the country through our affiliates. Affiliates are registered labor unions, which are registered under the Ministry of Labor, Gender and Social Development. And as a center, we are the umbrella organization which link the workers with government in all aspects under the Labor Unions Act.
Now, having told the public what you do, the services you render, let's first of all understand the current situation of labor, because so much is being said. Migrant workers, some are also talking about home. Let's begin with home, then we also look at those that are far from home.
Okay, as far as the country is concerned, obviously we are embattled with high unemployment rate, especially from the youth, who constitute out of 44 unemployed percent, 92 are the youth, and this is a very great percentage affecting the youth. And from that, the youth have to find their way out. And that's why you are seeing the rise of people going abroad to look for what to do. There's a high rate of unemployment in the country. Obviously, secondly, we need to be mindful of how we regulate and how we govern labor in the country. The labor inspection in the country is absolutely very weak. There's high rate of casualization in the country, which is leading to low quality of employment and end up being people being mistreated, paid peanuts, especially lack of the minimum wage in the country is very key. Casualization is very rampant in the country, and therefore lack of social protection. Most of people don't have medical insurance. We do not have social protection like NSSF, the savings. You see, according to NDP4, we are having around 800 FDI generating 800,000 jobs per year annually. That is annually. But if you look at the quality of the jobs, so these youths have to go abroad and look for better paying jobs. That's one. The jobs might be available here, but what kind of jobs do we have? Therefore, we need to enforce to labor inspections. We need to have minimum wage. We need to wake up as a country. And as a National Organization of Trade Union, this is a key concern of to us, and we are trying our best to ensure that these issues are addressed, as I will highlight later.
Now, you've talked about a number of challenges, but one of them is the minimum wage. As NOTU, I'm interested to know how far, what are you doing regarding the minimum wage? Because this is something that really bothers, where someone can be given 3,000 a day. They are working in a factory that we looked at as an industry. An investor came. I know, Bijirwa, you've done investigations in, as NOTU in these factories. I was shocked. I usually apply the Bombo Road going to Bombo. Now, one time there are factories there, but I won't mention which factory. So around 5, was it 5? I saw a group of youth coming out from some factory. So I was very interested. I had a chat with one of them. Always know that this person is wanted at 8, lives at 5, but every day they are paid 3,000 shillings.
Okay, minimum wage. Just as an update, you know, the government has been very skeptical on putting in place minimum wage with a claim that it will frustrate investment. But the good news is that last year we had a meeting with the president at State House, and he was able to acknowledge and he welcomed the idea of having minimum wage, which is sectoral. And I'm glad to inform the country that so far the constitution of the minimum wages board is going on, but our concern is it is taking long. It is very slow. The process is very slow, and therefore we want to appeal to government. Really, this process should be quickened so that workers are able to benefit from this process. Otherwise, it might stay for long. As you know, it has been long, and we appeal to the president really to ensure this process is quickened so that we protect our people in the country. And this is what is giving rise to most people to go abroad. And as NOTU last week, we launched a call center because we know the workers are going through a lot abroad. And we have managed to do a lot of work in 2 weeks only. And we are offering a number of services. One of them is information. We are able to provide information to people who are going abroad, and even those who are abroad, on what they expect and the right procedure to take. And so we are also offering advisory services. We are also handling grievances, and we are doing a lot of referrals. As you know, we may not have capacity to solve certain problems. So we do referrals to the Ministry of Gender, to the security agencies, to be able, and foreign affairs, to be able to intervene and help this. And we keep tracking the development of these cases. And we have got quite many. So this is something we believe that we want to thank the International Labour Organization, which has been able to help us put in place this toll-free and the call center, which is in place right now.
Now, you've talked about the call center. I've picked so much interest in here, which was launched last week. Briefly, how does one access this call center? Do you, by calling, what is the number?
You call, there's a toll-free line.
Toll-free, so that means even if you don't have money,
yes,
you don't need money to call this number.
The number is 800-111-445, and you'll be able to get us, and we shall be able to help you. And we have so far got in touch with over 143 people. Others are out of the country, others are internally here inquiring about our services or how they can be helped when they are trying to move out of the country, trying to find out the legitimacy of certain companies. And also, definitely, there are those who have been trafficked abroad, and those are quite many in Cambodia and Nyanama and where. All those are crying, but we are working closely with the Minister of Gender and other stakeholders to ensure that this situation is put to the right course.
So the toll-free number is 800 111 445. 800 111 445. I think there.
Obviously, you start with 256.
256. That is our country code, and many of you know that. So you just add 800 111 445. Then there you can get help when you're a domestic worker already, or even when you're planning to move out of the country.
We help all the workers in the country.
So it's more like you inquire anything you need.
Anything you need, we are available.
Is it a 24/7 thing?
It is 24/7. When it is you can't get reception, it is diverted on mobile phones. Definitely it is. 24/7.
And now, what prompted you to come up with this call center? As not to, because you handle quite a number of issues.
Well, what prompted us, we have been handling so many cases related to domestic workers, especially those who travel abroad, and we have been getting them informally through relatives, through friends. My daughter went out, is having problems, you get calls. So we could not exhaustively get everybody on board. So it is better that we go on open and get all these complaints so that we can refer others, those which we can arbitrate. We are able to arbitrate between the labor externalization companies and the the family. We have done all this because we have a migration resource center which is also responsible for those handling grievances and what else.
That said, what have been the outstanding concerns through the call center?
The most outstanding concern is that most of these problems are self-made. For instance, a girl is sent to Saudi Arabia through the right channels. When she reaches Saudi Arabia, she gets these called the Nyumba controllers. They try to tell her, here we can get you a better job. And therefore she escapes from the real original deployment. And when she escapes, there they get problems. Most of the problems have come from such related issues. Those guys, the ladies who have put up then they get off. Then definitely they land in problems.
Only to
those
get there and it's prostitution.
And there are those who are trafficked, obviously. They go through illegal means from here. They end up in Cambodia, they end up in Nyanama, they end up where? And they get problems. So I'm just appealing to Ugandans that let us try to get the right way of how we live the country. For instance, if somebody lives through the right recruitment company, we are able to track where this lady is, and we shall definitely get there. But the moment we get off the radar, then it comes firefighting.
Very complicated.
Yes.
Now, let's look at also the challenges you've faced while addressing these problems. As a journalist, I've been able to investigate, of course not alone, with a group of friends, have been able to try and help some of these girls, but I found it a hard nut to crack. Because some of these companies, the person will even tell you, you know how much I invested in this business that you want to bring down. I have 100 million shillings deposited as assurance in case these girls get problems. I've sent this number of girls, have done this. You know that, maybe it happens for us as individual intimidation, that reach a point and you're like, the company knows they're in the wrong, you have them, but then they resort to intimidating you. So as NOTU or as people running this call center, so far, what are those challenges that you found? Or for it has been a smooth sail?
Well, the issue is we need serious enforcement, especially from the regulator, who is the Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development. We need to crack a hard whip on those labor companies which are going astray, especially when they know that they're on the wrong. So I think with the support from government and our embassies abroad, we should be able to crack down. And also definitely for us as trade union leaders, we are linked up internationally through ITUC, the International Trade Union Congress, which governs all the labor centers in the world. And sometimes when we get hardened up, what we do is we link up with International Trade Union Congress, which is in Geneva, but obviously has an African office in Lome. So what we normally do when we get hard up, we link up with them, and they are able to link up with trade unions in Saudi and wherever they are. So that is how we link up, because NOTU is affiliated to International Trade Union Congress. So life becomes easier for us when we use some of those areas. In case we fail through Ministry of Labor, that is another force. And ITUC Brussels has been very helpful in helping us track down where these guys are. Thank you.
You talked about the issue of trafficking. Now, one would wonder, even with a lot of publicity from Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, systems are in place, the Mossad system where someone can look for, we've seen so much advertising, so much talk. Do we still have people trafficked out of Uganda to go in the Arab world and work, or in the UAE and work as domestic workers?
There are still very many. There are still very many. People are desperate. They want jobs. So they always take it as naked truth when somebody tells them, you know, we are safe, let's go with you, let's travel with you, do that. People are ready to risk because they have nothing to eat.
Why do they pass, or what techniques do they use? Because when you go to the airport, for example, if you're going, the purpose, how do they? Because I'm still questioning myself. These traffickers, for them, they know they are doing an illegality. Now, you talked about girls in Myanmar. You talked about those Cambodia. You wonder, how did this person get there? Because to the best of my knowledge, I only know we have the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, that Uganda has a bilateral agreement in externalization of domestic workers.
Well, I may not able to tell the tricks they use, but the fact is they are there. They find themselves there. Others go to visit relatives, and they end up relatives channeling them in different areas. Go and work. Here is safe. You are going to be to work in a casino, you end up going to be a hacker. If you are an IT, they put you to be a hacker. So there are many circumstances and how people live. People use different means. So I can't tell which one is most common, but they find themselves out of the country. But others, through relatives, through whatever, they end up there. That's a fact.
Well, it's very unfortunate. And at this point, allow me to go for a very short break. When I return, I still have Vigirwa Richard, the Secretary General, National Organization of Trade Unions, with whom we are discussing the role of NATO in rescue of immigrant workers. Keep it with us.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang LP L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation, when people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo, clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
It's a pleasure knowing you're still with us. We do appreciate. Now, before we went for the break, just remind you, we were looking at the role of National Organization of Trade Unions in rescuing migrant workers. And we did discuss quite a number of issues there with my guest, Bijirwa Richard, who is the Secretary General of that particular union that brings together all the trade unions in this country. Now, there is also another form of labor that is coming up. That is the platform economy. Now here, we also find challenges. My viewer, if you're wondering, what is the platform economy? Now, these are platforms that people deal in. For example, the Uber, maybe my guest will mention even more of such. And I wonder, how is NATO ensuring that we have sanity, but also that the people in this are protected?
Thank you, Kirabo. You are spot on. First of all, I wanted to thank the innovators for all this they are doing, especially increasing the rate of employment. And you'll find many people are now, especially the youth, are being employed in that part of the economy. The Ubers, as we have said, the food suppliers, there are so many apps being used, the safe borders and whatever. The most important thing is that we need to put a legal framework in place. As per now, there's no legal framework as far as the platform economy is concerned. Last week, as we go towards the International Labour Conference, which takes place every year in June in Geneva, the African countries sat down in Lome, Togo, a total of 40 countries, and we realized there was a need to have the convention on platform economy. And this year, it is going to be a key discussion issue at the International Labour Organization, because we realize that the platform economy and the platform workers have several problems. First of all, the commission they get is not very sufficient. The working terms are not very sufficient. And also the tools they are using are a bit complicated for the illiterate. So the International Labour Organization has decided through the different countries, trade union leaders, the employers and governments, this year we are going to discuss the convention, a new convention on platform economy in Geneva. And successfully, if passed, now from a convention, that is where the laws are derived from. Individual countries go back and now formulate different laws, different acts to ensure that they operationalize different conventions. So we are very hopeful that after the passing of the convention on the platform economy in Geneva, we shall be able to come down through the Ministry of Labour, Gender and Social Development to have different legal frameworks in the country so that these platform workers also enjoy the rights they deserve as per the laws of the country and the Constitution of Uganda.
Now, we can't wait for that because, like you said, many are employed in here. But in the show, in our first half of the show, you mentioned something that you did meet the president. If I remember, that was on the 30th of April last year. And what exactly, if you're at liberty to speak, did you discuss and what has been achieved so far? Well,
I did mention that, and it is true on 30th April last year, the eve of the Labor Day, the president did invite us at State House in Tebe to discuss issues pertaining labor. And the meeting was very cordial. We thanked him, but there are issues we discussed. One of them, obviously, which he had promised that he would take action immediately, was the pay-as-you-earn threshold, to remove it from 230 to 500. And we see now the budget is coming up. It has not been done. It is a bit regrettable, and we believe that maybe it is not yet too late. Secondly, we agreed on eradication of casual work in the country. This one we have moved a step because he did delegate the Minister of State for Labor, Honorable Esther Nyakuni, and we have been moving around in different industrial parks to sensitize the employers on that. But we are yet to see this one in the Employment Act, because you know the Employment Act was sent back to Parliament. So we believe that the new Employment Act, which is going to be amended and passed by the Parliament, which will have that one in control of especially the casualization of labor. Number three, which we agreed on, was about the funding of labor unions. You know, there is a shrinking space on the funding, especially the internationals and whatever. The president did confirm to us that in the next budget, we shall be catered for to ensure that the labor unions are funded from consolidated fund. And we are waiting to see that happen. We have tried to write to the Minister of Finance, reminding him about that. We hope it will be in the budget, and that was one of the key areas. And including the governance issues, which he promised that trade union leaders will now be involved in governance issues. So we believe that these issues will be addressed before Labor Day. It's not yet late, and we believe we are going to meet him before Labor Day, because we also discussed the issue of low-cost housing estates for the workers, especially near industrial parks. We expect it to be in the budget so that these houses are constructed for the workers who live near the industrial parks to be able to get decent accommodation in the countryside. So those are some of the few issues, but we believe that the meeting will take place soon so that we are able to concentrate. Another issue, and lastly, we discussed about minimum wage, and I did clearly tell you that He was very positive in this, and we believe that this is going to be done. Minister of Labor should speed up this, because this one, he absolutely gave directive to Minister of Labor to go ahead and start the process. And we are very hopeful that this will be done. Nevertheless, we want to urge you Ugandans to continue producing in a very positive manner, so that, because this is our country, despite all the issues around us, this is our country. We are responsible to make sure we produce so that our economy grows. And I'm grateful that our economy is rising steadily at 6%. This is a very steady progress. And I want to believe that with the stewardship of the president, we should be able to aim higher. Thank you, Kirao.
Well, so much hope for the workers in this country. We hope we shall see this come to pass, as when you go and visit the head of state and he makes some directives. We hope mostly I'm concerned when it comes to the minimum wage, the sectoral approach, not the universal approach, but the sectoral approach, that really that will save. There are so many housemaids, even here in Uganda, who earn peanuts. No wonder now we are seeing so many running outside Uganda, because it's so meaningful. There are so many young boys who are working in factories, and it's just a wastage of their years, because what they are being paid, they have to work the hours they're spending, and it's the employment available. So if there is a minimum wage that can be meaningful to their earning, that will do great. Now, still coming back to the topic of the day, be more specific. Bijira, when you talk about domestic workers, rescuing them, giving them information, I've seen a number who come home and they are betrayed by their own. They have been sending money to a mother. Can you imagine? Build for me her house, do for me this. She comes home with nothing, to find nothing, and a hostile environment. As not, how do you handle these situations? The family betrayed her. They ate her hard-earned money, tears and money. And now they are the people she has to be staying with, living with.
Thank you. Last week, we had a meeting with recruitment firms, and also we had an opportunity to invite the National Social Security Fund. The National Social Security Fund has come up with a number of products. One of them is Smart Flexi, whereby you can save even when you're abroad. Another one is the voluntary savings, whereby you can save and get it out even the following year. So we want to urge you Ugandans, we should leave these old mentalities. I'm sending to my auntie, I'm saying, let's make use of such institutions which are reliable, which are legal, and whereby you are assured that your money will even earn interest. And these products are available. National Social Security Fund has been very innovative in all these benefits. It's no longer that a salary earner you pay. All these benefits are available. And we are going to ensure that all the time we have meetings. When at departure lounges and wherever, we conduct all these awareness creation to these girls who are going outside, so that they don't end up destitute when they come back. So this one we are doing, and we have actually started. We are visiting a lot of training centers and wherever to ensure we sensitize them, they don't end up in that category you are saying.
Well, time seems to be flying, and of course we know good things come to an end when you still need to know more about them. Now, just remind you that a toll-free line, call it a call center, was established. Why I emphasize toll-free? Meaning even if you don't have money, you don't need money or airtime, to be more specific. You don't need airtime to call this number. If you're planning to leave the country as a migrant worker, most of domestic workers, all you need is your phone, and you put on a country code, start with that, 256, then 800 111 445. Please call. You have a relative stuck in a certain part of this country, or sorry, in a certain part of the world. Please see, you never know, we could save that soul. We could save that girl from running away from that home, then ending in the tooth of a lion. We could save that girl from engaging in forced prostitution, or even committing suicide when she thinks all doors are closed and there's nothing left. That one call maybe can change the life or save the life of that girl. And I want to thank Notu for having thought about that. It's something you should have done yesterday, but as long as it is in place, it's a good move. But then the question I have for you, Bijirwa, National Organization of Trade Unions is a membership body, not so? And it looks at workers. These are not your members. By all means, I want to believe.
Yeah, our role is to save the workers of the country. And as time goes on, I've told you, we don't have a right legal framework. We shall be able to put the right framework. But our role as a national center...
Because how can migrant workers use...
Our role as a national center, we are responsible for all the 20 million working people. It is not necessarily that those who pay subscription. We have those who do not, but our role is to ensure that the workers of this country and the citizens of Uganda live safely in the working world. Thank you. So it is still under our mandate to ensure that we protect the migrant workers, to ensure that the working people, whether they are subscribing or not, they are protected. Because one of our roles is to influence policy. If there is a law going in place or there is a policy we want, that is one of our cardinal roles. And when we influence policy, when we influence laws and they help the workers, we have helped everybody. Even if Kirabo is not a member, that's why we say we represent all the 20 million working people in the country. Because we do not segregate when we are influencing policy that this one is going to be only for our workers. It only comes when we are doing collective bargaining sometimes. Yeah.
Okay, now with that, let me have your last remark.
I want to thank Ugandans for continuing to be peaceful. That is important, especially after the last general election. I want to thank government for keeping peace. That one, there's no question about that. Thank you for keeping Ugandans safe, especially during the campaigns. Secondly, I want also to thank Ugandans for the steady economic growth which is taking place in the country at 6%. This is very great, and we believe it is very substantial for us to see growth in future. And definitely, we want to thank the country for controlling inflation. You know, when inflation skyrockets, everything goes out of hand. And we want to pray that we continue having stability globally, because you know when the global economy is at rampant, then they become, even Uganda is equally affected. So we want to continue to have
I've already seen an increase in fuel prices.
Exactly. We want to pray for peace in the country and the other side of the world. I want to thank the state for the continuous improvement, but we want to continue having engagement with them so that we can make progress. We can make this country a better place to live in. We can make workers of this country also enjoy what happens. One of the things we are concerned with, especially the workers, with the policy of investors carrying away all what the profits they get.
This profit repatriation.
Repatriation. This one, we will not see much progress in the country. So we want revision of policies such as that to ensure that Ugandans are part of this economy. The economy should be in our hands. Majority of the economy should be in our hands if we are to see steady progress. Otherwise, thank you, Kirabo, for hosting me.
Well, thank you so much, my viewer, for being part of this show all the way from 6:30 till now. We do appreciate, and I can't wait to have you tomorrow. 6:30, Good Morning Uganda. We'll be here, I and Julie and Ruben Mpima, Kasera Chibirango, and a big team on camera plus our technical wing. What do we do best to ensure that you start your day a very informed person, but also with some moments here to spice up your morning, to lighten up your morning, and I guarantee you, you can't go wrong when you start your day. So tomorrow, make it a date. I'll be ready and waiting for you. God bless you.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now.